Hello everybody, so we are going to start in on a new project, which is the Mousetrap cars. I've skipped one of them since there's not an online version of, for example, some of these, like the hot air balloon. So we'll just kind of do what we can do in terms of some of the different projects. I will be looking within the different websites, like obviously GoFormative, I can see what it is that you're doing, and within white box learning as well, and just kind of monitoring and seeing how things are going there. So obviously I can see if you've accessed it or not accessed it and those types of things. Okay. With that being said, this is obviously all online, but if you have specific questions, ask, but we should be able to kind of figure it out. Your test really is your final design, and so you'll go through it after doing all the experiments and design your own. It's just going to be done virtually instead of a three-dimensional one like we had been planning on during class. Okay, so first off, you need to go to my website. And so just like accessing it like online throughout the year, you should click on it and you'll see, of course, my website. And so this is going to be Monday, and then each day I'm just going to add some things here, and this will move down, and then you'll see some things the following week around April 20th, or obviously that part of it. Okay, so down below, if you don't have your white box learning um, login, if you've forgotten it, if you scroll down, this will stay here. You should then see period 1, period 2, and that has your login information down below here. Okay, so up here though, towards the top, once you know what your login information is, you just click on that link. Once you've clicked on that link, it's going to take you here. And so we're going to be over here at the Mousetrap car. You click on it, you type in your student ID. So let's see, my made up student ID is here. Then everybody is going to have the same HDY group ID. So make sure that HDY goes there, and you click login. Once you've logged in, you'll see these buttons here. We won't really do this particular button too much because you're going to have a lot of that information within GoFormative, but you may find that to be helpful. So you can kind of see this has a design challenge, things like that, all within. So it gives you a little bit of background information. That research button is also right here. And they have quizzes and things like that if you need help with concepts. But again, a lot of the concepts, really, we're going to be doing some GoFormatives. And so the links will be on my website. For example, your first one will be here tomorrow. Today, really, the goal is really just to get familiar with the program. So that shouldn't take us a huge amount of time, hopefully. Okay. So first off, and just really with this YouTube video, just bringing you through with how to kind of go through different things. Go back over here to home. You can also go to the engineering piece. The competition right now is turned off, so if you try to save and enter the competition, it will not allow you to go in there. So I'm not going to open that up until finally we've got our experiments done. So really these are going to be the two that you're going to be at, and mostly here. So once you click on engineering, which is also found there, again, we're not going to use the competition piece here at all until we've gone through some of the experiments. So the first thing is really just to click on these little eyes. There are 4 parts to the Mousetrap car. One is the chassis, also known as the base. And so you can kind of see that here. So as soon as you click on the eye, you'll see these different parts show up. So the chassis looks basically like that. We will have some bars in between it that will show up to obviously hold these together. That's actually what ours looked like if we had built ours three-dimensionally in class. You would have built one like this 3D-wise. Front axle, you click on that. So the front axle would be, of course, here's the axle. And then, of course, you have 2 wheels. Okay, now you will be able to change, obviously, the length of these. I think within this program, it might allow you to change what type of wood you're using, the thickness of the wood, all of that. You'll be able to change the wheel size in the front here, those types of things. So there's quite a bit of freedom within the program. The rear axle, obviously you need some wheels in the rear. And so here's the axle again, and then we have a wheel on either side. And then the mousetrap assembly, click on that and you can see that show up. So here's the mousetrap, and then this is what's called a lever. So basically what's going to happen is there's going to be a string attached from here over to here, and you would wind it up back here, let it go, and it'll move forward. I will try to post a YouTube video of what one of these looks like. It's kind of hard to see that, obviously, in terms of running in motion on here. Okay, from there then, I like to move it. I hit this little button down here. I like to move it up here to this corner. I kind of like that view. You can kind of move things around by hitting some of these other buttons, but I like to keep it right there at that location. The reason is as I go to change things, let's say I want to change the chassis. Okay, looks like I moved it too far up. Then I like to have it right there, so as I make changes to it, then I can see what it looks like. So from here, you can see you can change the wood colors. That's not really going to do anything, but change that color. You got to click the apply button and it'll change it. Okay. You can change the length of it. So let's say I want it to be 200. As soon as you click apply, you should be able to see that change right there. So now I have, of course, a shorter car. Okay. Let's see, it looks like it lets you change that. So here's the touring balsa wood, custom, 3D printed. So it has all these different options that you can go with. Okay. Let's see here. From there, if you click done, then that's going to close this. Then you have that. If I want to change the front axle, I can kind of do the same thing. So just kind of go through within here and you can change what it is. But remember, as soon as you click on what it is, you got to click the apply button, and then now you should see this front axle change to what it is that you wanted it to be. Okay. Bearings, you can change that to a plastic straw, a laminated tube, brass bushings, premium bushings, wheels, CDs, click the apply. You can see it changed it to CDs. So those are some pretty big wheels in the front. Okay. I don't know what this is supposed to be. Oh, it's rubber bands around this or around the wheel itself. So if you make a change, then watch it, then you'll kind of see what it does. So if you're not sure exactly what it is, because they have lots of different things in here, as you can see, I'm not super familiar with this program, but as I make changes, I just watch and say, oh, okay, that's what that does. You can change the axle length. So maybe I want it to be 200, click apply, and then boom, you can see what it does to it. So again, for today, really just kind of get familiar with the program. Up here underneath File, maybe you want to just start a new design. Then that's going to reset everything. And then this is really the stock base design that you're starting with. You can also then, well, I've already messed with that one. So let's go to the rear axle. You can also hit the reset button down here. So maybe I want to do the wheels as CDs back there. Click apply, boom. There it is. I got bigger wheels. If I hit the reset button, then it's going to switch it back. So you can do that too within each one of these different particular ones, different sections. When you click done, then it's going to close that out. And then you can open up another thing. Usually what happens if you have too many of these things open, it gets really confusing about what it is that you have there. But really there's just 4 sections to the car that you can make changes to. Now the other big thing down here is really going to be things like mass. You'll notice that's there. So that kind of gets in the way sometimes of being able to see stuff. Friction. We'll be doing some friction experiments. I'm going to get rid of that one. I'm not going to mess with cost. we didn't really use a cost thing in mind. So I think I'll just make sure that the cost, what you can spend on your car, is going to be probably a pretty high amount. So hopefully it won't be something that will downgrade you. Performance will probably be one that we use quite a bit. So you can basically, if you click here, you can see distance, and our distance is going to be 5 meters that we're going to try to go for, fastest speed over 5 meters, which would be about 1 tile in our hallways at school. Okay, so 5 meters is basically what we're going to go for. And so you can see down here, here's the time, speed, okay, over that distance. Go across here, you can see, well, here's 5 meters. It did that in 2.7 seconds would be this particular design. So you don't have to let it run, you can just kind of see right here. So then if I go up here to my lever arm length, if I change this to, I don't know, 500, click apply, you should see it really change. Well, now to cover 5 meters, did that in 7.5 seconds, it's a lot slower. So it's pretty instantaneous. You can then kind of see, well, what does that do to the speed? Or what did that do to the distance that it traveled just by looking at it? Okay, so for today, really just kind of go around and make sure that you're familiar with it. Remember, our design challenge is really 5 meters in the fastest speed possible. You'll then be able to make changes here, watch it, see what it does, be able to go up here and save your work, for example. So maybe you're like, hey, I got a pretty good design. I think that's working pretty well. Then you can save it, put in your name up there with what it is that you think it's doing. Then you have it. Then you can use that particular idea later. Or you could not save it, of course, if you don't think it's working very well. All right. Hopefully you have some basics there. Just mess around with the website for today and get familiar. Take care.
Everything in life is a negotiation.